Developing right now, Houston ISD appears to be on the verge of a state takeover that would remove the Board of Trustees.
The board has been marred by controversy and dysfunction in recent years.
Jason Miles talked with some of those trustees today. And Jason, there are concerns a takeover might cause even more instability.
Yeah, there's a lot to unpack here. The board's regular meeting is actually underway as we speak. This huge issue was not on the agenda, but it is all anyone is talking about today.
I move that we relieve Granita Latham of the duties of interim superintendent.
Differences are often publicly displayed during HISD board meetings.
And I cannot hold my peace anymore.
And decorum routinely takes a back seat. But current board president Diana Davila believes the state should wait on any drastic changes.
They have pretty much sentenced the school district to a takeover.
Davila confirms a Texas Education Agency investigation report delivered to the district this week recommends that she and every other HISD trustee be replaced by a state-appointed board of managers based on alleged misconduct and other infractions.
There is a due process, and I feel that that due process has been skipped.
The report comes after months of turmoil within the board, including a hasty vote to replace its interim superintendent, which was quickly reversed, and comments by Governor Greg Abbott advocating for state intervention, criticizing the district's leadership as a, quote, disaster.
This is politics, and it's messy.
Houston Federation of Teachers President Zeph Capo has numerous issues with the current board, but believes local voters should clean house if necessary and not bureaucrats in Austin.
There is a tremendous amount of evidence to show that school board takeovers by the state or others in the whole do not work.
He recommends parents and others focus on their neighborhood schools and not the central office as we approach another academic year.
That's where the learning actually happens. That's where the relationship bonds and the trust needs to be built.
Now, HISD itself is not commenting on the TEA's findings, something to which board trustee Sue Dygard hopes the board as a whole can respond to as soon as possible. She also hopes the public gets a chance to see this report as soon as possible as well. It's a story we will obviously continue to follow. Guys.
All right, Jason, thank you. Our coverage of the potential takeover of HISD continuing on KHOU.com and the KHU 11 mobile app. We'll post any new developments from tonight's board meeting, along with what this takeover might mean for parents and students.